Hello, Legacy enjoyers. Maxtortion here, aiming to pull off some turn 1 kills in tonight's Legacy Challenge. That's right, I'm playing Oops All Spells, which is a deck I've been playing quite a bit off camera, but I figured it was high time I actually recorded something with it. So I am playing the February 15th Legacy Challenge with it. This is the blue variant. There's also a green variant, which looks like this. What blue offers you is the flex lands of Sink into Stupor and Hydroelectric Specimen, but really Sink into Stupor as a kind of a main deck bounce spell that doubles as part of your mana base is really, really strong. Then over in the sideboard, we'll get over to that, but I've got like Force of Wills and more Thassa's Oracle, stuff that blue affords me. And then what this deck does, kind of as a whole, for people who are unfamiliar with Oops All Spells, is it puts Undercity Informer or Balustrade Spy into play. Target yourself, you reveal cards until you find a land card, and then you put all those cards into your graveyard. But you don't play any lands, because all your lands are modal double-faced cards. So you mill your entire deck, you put some Narcomoebas into play, you flash back a Cabal Therapy, which then puts your 3 Poxwalkers into play. Poxwalkers then, can feed an additional Cabal Therapy to snag whatever else you need, and then you dread return Thassa's Oracle and win. So the rest of the deck is basically fast mana. We've got Chrome Mox, Lowe's Petal, Dark Ritual, all 8 Spirit Guides, the regular mana base of like Agadeem's Awakening, Fel the Profane, Boggart Trawler, Sink into Stupor, Hydroelectric Specimen, and then the combo pieces, which we've already mentioned, of like the Narcomoebas, Thassa's Oracle, Poxwalkers, the Spies, the Dread Return. And then it's got also a Memory's Journey and Jack-o'-lantern, which allow you to have access to green and beat a lot of graveyard hate, because like a Surgical Extraction or a Fairy Macabre or whatever kind of just fold to an extra mana source, and being able to tuck those cards back into your library to draw and cast your Thassa's Oracle, which is much less of a problem. And then we've also got in the deck 4 Pact of Negation and 4 Thoughtseize as disruption. So we've got 8 protection pieces, 8 combo cards, and then, a bunch of fast mana. Pretty compact deck. And over in the sideboard, we've got kind of ways to answer the game 2 and 3. We've got 2 more Thassa's Oracle on the board. This does a couple things. Against Fairy Macabre, it means that they can't Fairy Macabre your Thassa's Oracles away, because they can only target up to 2 cards, and you've got 3 of them. And then also against Leyline of the Void or whatever graveyard hate you're playing against Grafdigger's Cage, you could play one turn, you land an Undercity Informer, and then the next turn you mill yourself out and then play Thassa's Oracle, or play Thassa's Oracle, trigger on the stack and mill yourself out, safer. But you just play this from hand and you're no longer having to play around graveyard hate. So that's really convenient. I've got another blue source in the sideboard so that as we get more blue pips, we have lands to support it. Also got 4 Force of Will, because you'll notice that in the main deck, we've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14 blue spells. And then over here, we've got, 11 more. So we've got combined between main deck and sideboard enough cards to support Force of Will. So against decks that aim to beat us super fast, we can actually have Force of Will to not die. Or against decks that play Chalice of the Void or stuff like that, we can actually put Force of Will in and not Pact of Negation, because you can't pact a Chalice, but you can force one. And then Duress is pretty good against the combo decks or fair blue decks. And an extra Dread Return also kind of helps protect against some of the Fairy Macabre business, because between 2 Dread Returns and a Memory's Journey, they can't really stop you from eating your Fairy Macabre you to beat you with, even if you have no mana up. Into the Floodmaw is kind of a generic bounce spell to supplement Sink into Stupor. The Hydroelectric Specimen is just another land, another blue source. Sometimes the games slow down post-board, so we'll cut Simian Spirit Guide and add in a blue source that doesn't go away. Anyway, that's Oops All Spells. Let's get to turn 1ing, people. See you all in round 1. All right, here for round 1, we're against Balenciaga and Boba, who plays a lot of Stoneblade. This hand jams Undercity Informers into play. Hopefully one of them sticks, so I'll keep it. I'm going to go Boggart Bog, Dark Ritual, Informer. So Bog, yes. Dark Rit. And then I'll play an Informer, and then I'll play out a Lotus Petal. Let's hope this sticks. It does. Fantastic. So I can sacrifice the Informer to itself, mill out, and I get 2 Narcomoebas. Balenciaga and Boba is a local plays at my LGS, so I was just like, hey, what's up? We know each other quite well in real life, which makes this kind of thing pretty funny. Right now, he's just taking a look at what my list is. Play a lot of different decks, so he can't peg me on something like I can, being like, Jeskai Stoneblade. Same deck since 2015 or so. Actually, even during the Miracles era, he played Jeskai Stoneblade. He played like 2 Stone Fortress and a Batterskull in his Miracles lists. So against Jeskai Stoneblade, I'm basically going to want some Duresses. And that might be it as far as sideboarding goes. Pretty light. I could also bring in a Hydroelectric Specimen just as more like solid mana and then just cut the Spirit Guides entirely. Kind of like that. I'm considering bringing in the extra Thassa's Oracles, something like that. Try to beat Surgical Extraction. Although really Spirit Guides are better for that. I think this is just how I'm going to run it, at least for game 2. I might reassess in game 3. Okay, so this has a lot of disruption, but doesn't quite have a combo piece yet. I'm actually going to keep this on 7 on the draw. And my reasoning is that I think that he's probably kept a very safe hand. And I want to try to beat it by just kind of pushing through the disruption with like my Thought Seizes and stuff. And then eventually I can just draw one of my 8 combo pieces and go for it. It's a little bit of a risky line, but I hope it works out for me. Yeah, look at that. Triple Force of Will, Dress Down, Staticaster. So I think the first thing I'm going to do here is take a Dress Down. And then my plan after that will be I can Cabal Therapy next turn. And it kind of forces him to force, because otherwise I can just Cabal Therapy and name Force of Will. I could even do that right now off of Petal, but I don't think that's necessary. I also will get more information off that Cabal Therapy and see what he drew for the next turn. So that's looking pretty good to me. See, I'm just going to pass the turn. I don't need to go Lotus Petal Cabal Therapy just yet. I don't need to use my fast mana yet. The Staticaster will be kind of annoying if I don't play around it, because it can wipe my stuff. It can wipe all my, combo pieces, or my Narcomoebas, before I'm able to do anything with them. A lot of Oops All Spells lists play Bridge from Below, which would play around that thing, but I don't, so that would be a problem for me. So I'm going to start off with a Cabal Therapy right now. Chose not to shuffle with this Ponder, so Force Pitching Staticaster. Down to 2 forces. See, that's pretty good. And I can play out this Boggart Bog. Thoughtseize again. And it's 2 forces and a Cryptic Coat, which is just kind of a clock. So I think, given I have 2 Pact Negation, I'm just going to take the Cryptic Coat, and eventually I'll draw my combo piece and I'll be able to push through against the Force of Wills. Memory's Journey is not the card I wanted to draw. It does kind of a fat load of nothing at this moment. Eventually I'll draw a combo piece. There we go, Balustrade Spy. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Spy, then I'll double force to protect, or double pack to protect it. And that should be the game, nice and easy. So just like that, double force, double packed, found the spy, mill myself, and Narcomoeba 1, Narcomoeba 2, and then I can Cabal Therapy just to put in Poxwalkers, or I could just sack these 3 and Dread Return the Thassa's Oracle. Got the match, nice and easy. We'll see you all for round 2. All right, here we are for round 2. We're against Di Mianete, who usually plays tempo variants. Game 1, we cannot keep a hand like this that's just missing the combo piece, so easy mulligan. This one has the combo piece. It doesn't have black mana. You'll notice I actually have 15 black sources in the main deck to try to prevent situations like this, but I don't think I can keep it. I think I actually have to go to 5. So we're going to 5. This is again missing combo piece. So, sorry, opponent said hi, good luck, and I responded in kind. I think I actually got to go to 4 here. Not too happy about it, but yikes. I think I'm going to keep the 4 because it's got a functional mana base, and I'm just going to hope to draw the fatty. So keep 4. We'll put away Chrome Mox. We'll put away Jack-o'-lantern. We'll put away Poxwalkers, and hope that we can just kind of play out some lands and draw the Undercity Informer or the Spy. Not ideal, but you know, our last game against Balenciaga and Boba in round 1 went so well. We had some variants catch up with us now. That's kind of the flip side of this deck. Obviously, the good hands are extremely good, but the weaker ones leave a lot to be desired. Okay, a Dark Writ is pretty nice. Playing out these blue lands first so that when we get wastelanded, like so, we're not exposing our only black source. You'll notice that I still have 4 mana in hand, so if I draw a Spy, I'm doing well. Looks like opponents on blue-black tempo tonight. That's what the Bloodstained Mire and Underground Sea imply, as does the Tamiyo. Hopefully they don't have a Force of Will, although I guess we'll find out. I'm going to go with a Spell the Profane first. I'm just going to play it tapped and pass. Right now my goal here is to kind of just develop my lands, and then if I draw a Spy, I'm just going to cast it. If I draw a Disruption spell, I'll cast that. So technically, I guess 16 hits between the 2 sets of Balustrade Spy, Undercity Informer, and then the 2 sets of Thoughtseize and Pact of Negation. Opponents flipping their Tamiyo, which is not crazy relevant just yet. It does put a clock on us, though. See if anything else is coming down. Maybe Nethergoyf. Thoughtseize. Okay, well, the jig is up, but at least we don't lose anything valuable here. Just got mana. The Boggart Trawler is probably the best card to take because it means a wasteland off of my Fellmire and I no longer have black. So if I were my opponent, I'd be taking the Boggart Trawler. They took the Dark Writ, which probably means they have Daze and not Force of Will. Well, regardless, I think I just play this out. I was considering playing it untapped and jamming a Boggart Trawler into play, but I think that I'm safer just trying to beat the Daze off of, you know, top decking a Spy right now. That. So I'm going to pre-play out the land. I don't think it, I mean, technically I could like hide it to hide information about my last card, but you know, it is what it is. I can beat a Daze, I can't beat a Force. But they're cracking the clue. Trying to find the answer. Did they? They found it. Okay. Well, that's rough. Okay, so Force was acquired. I've got one more turn, basically, to run our top deck. They could have minused to regrow the Force of Will and chose not to, so maybe they have something else in their hand too. Right, well, we didn't hit, and they're going to ultimate Tamiyo, so I'm just going to concede to save some time here. Now against Blue-Black Delver, I think I want the Duresses in just to kind of fight through the wall of disruption. Pact of Negation is honestly kind of so-so because of the fact that they can like double counter you. But I think that's all right. I can just kind of cut some spirit guides, maybe all the guides, add in the land. Kind of same sideboarding plan as last time. Not going to get too fancy with it. I could also cut the Chrome Mox, which are pretty like bad 2-for-1s. But I can keep the spirit guides. Chrome Mox are part of my black sources. So you saw in the game when I mulliganed low when I was trying to find black. So the way I set this up is to have 15 black sources in the main deck. So you see that I have these 15 ways to produce black. And so I don't really want to cut them. So I think I'm just going to kind of run this as is. And we've got quite a hand here. I'm going to keep it. It's got 5 mana. So it means that we're able to duress first and then kind of figure out how we're going to play it. Because I can fell the Profane, and then I can like Chrome Mox to imprint Cabal Therapy. So fell the Profane. Yes, let's duress. And see what we're up against. If it's a wall of counter spells, I can use Cabal Therapy to help me out next turn. Okay, Force Pitching Consign. I'm going to hope that my Pact of Negation holds here. No, I only have 4 mana. I miscounted. So I'm going to imprint this Cabal Therapy and then maybe just pass the turn. Not a great move, maybe. I just miscounted my mana. For some reason I thought I had 4. I don't want to jam the Informer on the turn that I'm not going to win because I need to beat the, I want to use Pact to protect myself. Unfortunately, there's the Spell Bomb. But I can beat that with an extra mana source just like that. So we go Dark Rit. We can no longer Pact to beat it, but we can Informer with protection. Okay, so I will pay 1, just like that. And now I'm going to mill myself out. And as you see, I'm about to get spellbombed. So the Pact is not going to help me here because it's going to be over a couple turns, which is why I was kind of iffy on Pact while sideboarding. So my opponent nukes my graveyard. I crack this for green. And then I Memory's Journey, target myself. I'm going to choose Thassa's Oracle, as well as, let's see here, Thassa's Oracle and 2 blue lands. So like a Sink into Stupor. Maybe things that can't get wastelanded. I'll do 2 Lotus Petals. Lotus Petal. Lotus Petal. And I get a set of Poxwalkers for my troubles. So we'll see if this ends up working. It does. I have a 3-card library. Lose my library now. Or lose my graveyard now. But hopefully these Poxwalkers are enough to push through. No Narcomoebas. So I will not use their ability since, yeah, I'll use this one's ability even though it's an exile, just for fun. And pass. So that's why Memory's Journey is great. Instead of losing the game, I'm in a decent spot to win it. There's also a chance that last turn when I duressed and got forced, I should be thinking about Nihil Spellbomb as the card that they're forcing to protect. So that might be on me as a kind of a play to have a play that my opponent made that signals something that I should have been maybe a little bit more heads up about. Because now also they're facing down 9 power of attackers over the next couple turns. So I've also got that going for me. I'm going to use that to my advantage. So let's attack. Yeah. Bowmaster? That would be annoying. Probably is a Bowmaster though. Yep. So this does answer 2 of these things. Maybe I should have put a Cabal Therapy in these 3 cards, but I did need double blue for my Oracle. Yep, so no more Poxwalkers. Gonna play out the Petal to play around Thoughtseize, then pass the turn. Basically, if my next card is a Lotus Petal, then I'll be able to play that out too. And if my last card is the Oracle, then I'll be able to play that out with Pact Negation Protection. So that'd be pretty good. Opponent shuffles. There's another Goyf. Yep. Do I draw a Petal? Oracle. Okay. Oh. 1 turn where I'm vulnerable to Thoughtseize. And then my last turn, I will play an Oracle, hopefully with Pact backup. They're brainstorming, trying to find a way to beat this. Hopefully they don't. I would like to win. Okay, they finished brainstorming. They're wasting me. Maybe? No, Thoughtseize. Damn it. Well, so this was the unfortunate situation here. So they can take my Oracle or my Pact. I'm sure they take the Oracle. Yep. And now I draw a Petal and I can't cast it, so I lose. GG. But here's the situation, right? We take it. We get wiped. And draw Petal, cast it, and pact it, maybe? No, I tried to pact my own Petal. All right. Well, we're 1-1 now, but I will see you all for round 3. Okay, we're back for round 3. We won the roll. We're against Sylvia Botaru, very good Japanese Delver player. This hand is quite solid. It just jams spies at my opponent until something sticks, so I'll keep it. Sylvia going to 6. I will, I think, lead on my blue source to play around Wasteland as best I can. The next turn I can go Boggart Trawler or Fell the Profane into Informer, play around Daze, and then if it resolves I can pop it. Sylvia's looking at the top of my deck, so he'll know what's up. See what's going on. Yeah, Sylvia also streams, so if he's taking pauses, it's probably him chatting with his audience about his thoughts and plans as a Delver player, which pretty much means stopping me from doing my thing right now. Looks like he's leading on Volcanic Island with a Ponder, probably saw something to clue him into Oops All Spells and now is pondering for a force and shuffled. So hopefully missed. Let's find out. So I'm going to lead on Fell the Profane here because that's what he saw. And then I'll Dark Writ, and then I'm going to go for an Informer to try to play around Daze. So yeah, I will try to jam the Informer into play here. He's thinking long and hard. Maybe it's about a Force of Negation, something like that. Something that can counter the Dark Writ, but not the creature. That's why I'm thinking Force of Negation. Or he's like, Daze, like, do I Daze now? No, but you would Daze later, right? Because if I play a Spy, you would just Daze after. Because I jam 4 mana and just Daze the Spy. Okay, it is a Force of Negation. Pitching the Brainstorm. Okay, so no creature for me this turn. Gotta pass it back. Next turn I will run out. I was going to run out an Informer into a potential Daze, but now I can't. Don't even have the opportunity to do so. Let's do another Fell the Profane. Not taking any pain off of this one. Opponent is surveilling, setting up the top of their deck with something good, probably. Skull and Tarn into their graveyard, so removing a dead draw. Cabal Therapy. I could just play around a potential Daze by therapying now. Also, I just really feel like there's a Daze given this Force of Negation on the Dark Writ. Let's see, Daze. Ooh, there is, and a Force of Will. Okay. So Force must have been drawn. We can do that. The next turn we can jam out the Informer and then play around, I guess, a top decked Daze. Or do I try to play? Okay, I can beat Wasteland now with, or beat Daze now with this Petal. I think I'm going to jam a Spy because that's better against getting Wastelanded next turn. Okay, found a blue card for Force, but we can Spy again next turn. Hopefully. I mean, we try, right? Oh, and we found a Pact. Okay. So even if he has something, we can beat it. Bolt. Okay, so what do we do here? Maybe it's just looking at the deck. Trying to make sure I can win. Compact anything, so that's good. So if I Cabal Therapy right now, I should probably name like Consign to Memory or Stifle. No, I guess those would have already been cast on the Balustrade Spy on that trigger. So it can't be those. If there's anything. I don't think there's any answers in the deck that matter at this point because those would have already affected Balustrade Spy. I mean, I could probably just name Stifle to be safe. But Consign could also hit these, but then I could flashback Cabal Therapy with the Spy. I guess I'll name Consign to Memory because that replicates. No, I don't have to name anything. Okay. So I think I'm going to do the same sideboard plan that I've been doing, which is the Dresses and Hydroelectric Specimen. Not ideal against, permanent hate, but I think I like the plan enough. I could also bring in some of these against like Fairy Macabre. I guess I'll see if I see it in game 2. But like last game when I lost against Delver, last match, you can see why I don't love the pact negations. Like I could cut the pacts and bring like this in. Maybe I do that. I kind of like that plan. Pact negation feels so fragile in this matchup. It just feels like I want to be able to jam threats repeatedly, and Pact doesn't let me do that. Having an Oracle in hand is obviously great. I have initial Black Source plus double Dark Writ, so easy keep. So I have 1, 3, 5, 6 mana. So I can do Spy and Duress around a daze. Okay, Darcy. So let's beat Daze this whole time. Felmire in play. Petal, cast. Dark Writ. Duress. Let's see what we see. We see a Force of Negation, okay. It probably means that there might be more stuff. Maybe it's a daze. Pitched a Brainstorm. Okay. Wonder what the card on top is that he's thinking about. Well, gotta hope that the last two are not like Force Blue card or Surgical and whatever. Last time, protecting the Nihil Spellbomb was the Force Show and Duress, but we'll see here. I mean, I'm just gonna go for it. And it is the Force Blue card. Rough. Okay. So what's happening with the card on top? Still on top. Okay. Well, that's a bummer, but opponent has no cards in hand. That part's good. Gross. Grafdigger's Cage. Okay, well, at least we have an Oracle in hand. But yeah, double Force Grafdigger's Cage is a pretty tough one to beat. I could consider playing out this Narcomoeba. Okay, now that I don't have to burn the petal to do it, I will. Before it was cutting me down a mana source to do so, but now it's just kind of gumming up the board. Just something I'm very much interested in doing. Yeah, no attacks. I think I'm going to wait a couple turns to Duress because I don't have the combo piece yet. And I want to be able to snipe the actual relevant cards and also know what Sylvia's got going on. Well, there's the Informer, so now I'll Duress. Double Daze. Okay, well, let's take one of those. So I'm not going to cast this Informer until I can play around Daze. Delver. So another mana source would be fantastic. There it is. I think I'm going to do it like this. Just to kind of see if he dazes. Probably does. But then I can just Spirit Guide pay for it. And if he doesn't, I just kind of want to hold the Spirit Guide. Okay, so he does. I want to let him surveil first without knowing whether or not I'm going to pay for it. I do, in fact, have the payment ready. So with another mana source, I'll be able to mill myself out and then use Jack-o'-lantern to filter for blue and then cast the Oracle. Oh, another daze. Rough. Okay. So I know about a daze now. think I just hold back the Narcomoeba for another turn. All the Profane. So let's see here. I could mill myself out. I know about the days is the problem, so I could mill myself out, but then I get got by the days because this is all 3 mana. So yeah, I have to play this tapped and just kind of pass. Delvers delved the secrets of the days. Wander's looking for something good. Been to Misty Rainforest. What's he finding? Bobble. That's going to flip to Darcy, so that's rough. I think I have to chump block Narcomoeba this turn. Okay, he knows the top of my deck. I do not. Oh, I know what I can do. I should have done this. No, I can't. I was going to say that I could Cabal Therapy mill myself out and then Cabal Therapy the days out of the hand. But I can't do that because Graph triggers Cage. So yeah, I'm just gonna jump block with Narcomoeba right now. I hope to rip another mana source. Instead I ripped another Oracle. Okay. Do I assume that he's gonna play this optimally? I mean, I assume, yeah, he has the days. There's no reason. I can't play into him making that level of mistake here of just like not dazing an Oracle. So I'm gonna go to 1, hope to top deck a Spirit Guide. Oh no. I was gonna say top deck a Spirit Guide next turn, but now that's not gonna work. Okay, well, this daze is really getting me. Yeah, I drew the pedal too. Okay, well, now I guess do I reveal my library for something that won't work? Maybe, I don't know. Nah, I'm not going to reveal my library. Game 3. I'm going to assume Sylvia plays it correctly and just not flip my deck to just get my Oracle dazed. I don't need him knowing how many Oracles I play and all that stuff. On the play, however, maybe I trim down on my Oracles and Dread Returns and just kind of try to go fast, get a turn 1 kill. Kind of like that. Spirit Guide's back in. Maybe I should have put the Pact of Negations back in too. Just like go back to my game 1 configuration. Over the Duresses. Duress is pretty good though. Like he's have double counter hands that Pact loses to. Ah, get out of here, giant Pact of Negation. Go away. How do I get you to go away? There we go. I do not love this oversized hover thing. Okay, maybe I play 2 Pact with 2 Spirit Guide. I'll try that. Okay, hoping to get a nice, strong game 3 opener. On the play, great hand, please. Okay, great hand minus no creature, so I'm going to mulligan. Here's a creature. No protection, but I think that's okay. We'll keep. I'm going to get rid of one of my 2 blue sources. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Fell the Profane, tapped. Maybe I should have let on Agadim, because it's like the worst one, the one I'm least likely to use as a spell. Hopefully it doesn't matter. Oh no. Okay, well. That's kind of why I wanted to try to turn 1. At least, okay, so I've got Undercity Informers at the wazoo now. Let's go for an Agadim. Jam an Informer. Come on, Sylvia. What you got? Letting it resolve. Great. Or maybe got nothing. Just kept it off of hope I don't have a turn 1 with the cage. See that? Pondering for stuff. Wasteland. Okay, hitting my Agadim. Drew Petal. Do I jam another Informer or do I wait a turn? I think I'm going to keep the Petal because I could maybe land a Sink into Stupor with it. Like, if I get another blue source, I can sink this Graph Digger's Cage and then combo. So I'm not going to blow this Petal yet. Okay, Delver. Two petals, or 2, I can sink into Stupor now. It's pretty cool. I guess I'll try on, I guess I could have tried now, but I'll try on the end step, maybe. One land. Did not hit something. Hitting, maybe another Delver. Okay, now I guess I'll try it on the end step. So, oh no, I need to play them. I need to play the petals. They're not spirit guides. Speaking of spirit guide, there's a spirit guide. Now I can play around days. I guess I'll try it. Petal, petal. Sink into Stupor the cage. Does this resolve? Ooh, it's getting forced. It does not resolve. Okay, we'll attack. Bloody pitch on force. Force pitch borrower. Okay. No flip. No flip. No flip. No flip. Sweet. No flip. Love it. Maybe a land. Delver coming in. Delver's coming in, I should say. Bobble. I'll dark writ this Informer out. Try to play around, I don't know, days. Because I can, yeah, this is better. So he's using the Bobble to help flip the Delvers here. He's going to look at the top of his library and then stack his draw trigger and Delver flip triggers in order to maximize the chance that Delver flips. So he knows the top of his library. And if it's a Delver trigger, if it was an instant or sorcery, this Bobble would be last, but it's not an instant or sorcery. So he drew the card and now he gets a fresh look at these cards. Still does not flip Delver. Love to see it. Okay. One at least was a land. The other was a DRC. Okay. DRC means that I can't attack this turn because the 3/3 eats my 2/3s. Chrome Mox is not really a good draw at all right now. The Scalding Tarn is probably going to do a Surveil. No, it's going to do a fetch between. So like check the top and then fetch Surveil. I guess it's a miss. So now he's going to fetch and Surveil to try to flip the other Delver. We'll see if it's a hit. Put a card on top, so it's probably a hit. Force the negation. There we go. So he's in for 6. Puts me to 8. I attack for 4, putting him to 5. Ooh, a hydroelectric specimen. Not great yet, but maybe I play it so I can play something else if I find it. Another specimen. So I die to a Delver flip here, right? Because I'm at 8 and it's a potential 9. The reason why I didn't hold anything back to block the Delver is because I don't really see much difference between going to 7-1. Okay, so he's just Pyroblasting now as a way to try to flip Delver. Put a card on top, which means Delver's going to flip and I am going to lose. That's unfortunate. I thought we fought pretty hard here, but that's okay. We flip to another Force Negation. Oh, that's rough. Taking 9 GG's. Well, we're now 1 and 2 in the challenge, but hopefully we can rally back and get like a nice 4-2 finish or something. I'll see you all for round 4. All right, so here we are for round 4. We're against Shatin, who is also an Oops All Spells aficionado. So this hand has a turn 1 Jack-o'-lantern. Is that enough? It doesn't beat a turn 1. I'm gonna mulligan. Okay, this hand's a lot better. Pact Negation doesn't do much for me because, you know, anything that he does to us is going to happen on his turn or my turn only. Like, he's not going to counter my stuff, and then I'll need to pact it. So I'll bin the pact and I'll lead off on a Spell Profane into Thoughtseize. Hopefully be able to disrupt him. Yeah, keeping bin the pact. Fellmire, Thoughtseize. What you got? Okay, so it's a Charbelcher hand. It's also got Jack-o'-lantern. So he was doing a Jack-o'-lantern play. This Charbelcher is going to come in pretty slow. So I'm not going to deal with the trawlers and that. I'm just going to take the Jack and then pass the turn. And then on turn 2, I can play out this Undercity Informer and hopefully it's enough. Garden of Freyalise, probably tapped. Yeah. Petal, because why not? Okay, so now I have the win, I believe. So I can play out the Fell the Profane, and play Chrome Mox, my other land, and now I can go 1, 2, 3, Informer, and then sacrifice it. Find my Narcomoebas. Cabal Therapy my opponent. I guess I'll take Boggart Trawler, since I know they have 2 of them. And nothing else relevant. So we got the first game against in the Oops All Spells mirror. So how do we sideboard the Oops All Spells mirror? I think we want Force of Wills. And probably want to have more oracles as blue cards. Duresses for sure. Don't want Pact and Negation. I think on the draw we want to be protected. The Chrome Mox are not great because I'm going to be discarding each other pretty low. Can probably cut the Spirit Guides too. How many blue cards does this make? Sort by color. So we've got 17 blue cards. That's pretty good for a Force of Will. It's like kind of bare minimum, but like in this sort of pivot in an Oops All Spells deck, that's pretty good. Sort by mana value. There we go. I'm going to submit the deck like this. Okay, so now Shoutin is on the play here. This hand is a turn 1. And so I'm going to keep it. It's also got an Oracle in hand. And so I'm just kind of hoping that Shoutin doesn't have the turn 1 himself. It's also got Cabal Therapy in hand, which is pretty nice. Yeah, I'm just banking on he doesn't have the literal turn 1 kill right now. And if he doesn't, then I can turn 1. So we will see. Bug, Spirit Guide, Spirit Guide. Oh, that's an Informer. Okay. Cool, but I'm not dead. So I have the win now. Bug, Dark Writ, Informer, target self, pitch that. Cool. And just like that, we win the Oops All Spells match in 7 minutes. And I was away for the first like 3. So a 4-minute match. Awesome. We're 2-2 now. We actually have pretty good breakers. So, you know, playing against good opponents has its benefit. Anyway, let's fight this out and see where we place. I'll see you all for round 5. All right, we're back for round 5. This is a fantastic hand. I'll keep it. So unfortunately on the draw here, but yeah, this Oops All Spells deck. Andre Mengucci has a term of like luck decks, which are decks that are very dependent on your opening hand. Either you have unbeatable 7s like this. Imagine this hand on the play, where you just Thoughtseize and then Dark Writ kill, or they can fall flat on their face the other way around. So fortunately, I can beat a Blood Moon here without much trouble. But yeah, this kind of luck deck is very much something that not everyone wants to do. It's like live and die by the luck deck. So let me double count my mana here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I will be able to Thoughtseize first, and I'm going to do this to confirm that my opponent is actually on like regular Moon Stompy and nothing weird. So Undercrypt into play as a mountain. So I have 3 mana. Thoughtseize. Cool, yeah. Regular mono red Stompy. So I can just proceed as usual. Mill myself out. Get a couple Narcomoebas. There's a Broadside Bombardiers. Sure, why not? Ball Therapy, target my opponent. And then I put Poxwalkers into play. Yeah, my opponent's seen enough. And okay, so Against mono red Stompy, my plan is to into the Flood Maw to bounce things. Thus Oracle to just like beat the Leyline because I can play the Oracles. Force of Wills to counter their stuff. Pact of Negation does not work on their lock pieces. Thoughtseize also doesn't really work on their lock pieces. I can cut down to 1 Cabal Therapy. And then at this point I can either cut a couple Spirit Guides or cut a couple Chrome Mox. Because of the Blood Moons, I think I'm going to cut a couple Spirit Guide and keep Chrome Mox as a way to get additional colored sources against the Blood Moon. So that makes our 60 look like this. I think it's still 17 blue cards, yep, or more even. It's 21 blue cards, that's plenty. Looks good. Let's sort by mana value as if these are actual mana value things and submit. Opponent already has a plan in mind. I like this hand quite a bit. It's got Into the Flood Maw plus the Lotus Petal, so I can, bounce things. So yeah, I'll keep the hand. Opponent is also keeping on 7. We don't love to see it. I think that if I have to pass for mana with mana up, I'm going to do a Hydroelectric Specimen. Never mind. Trinisphere is in play. But my thought was that I could float mana. Yeah, I'm just going to put a lab into play and pass the turn. And then next turn I'll put a Sink into Stupor into play, pass the turn. Opponent's doing something nasty to me. Fable. Okay, that's not too bad. Informer. I could Informer. No, I couldn't. I could pay 3 life and the Spirit Guide to put a Lotus Petal into play. I kind of want to do that. As weird as it seems, because... Or, never mind. On the end step, I can just bounce the Trinisphere. That's better. With my Flood Maw. And then I can just combo off on my turn, hopefully. I was going to do things like to play Lotus Petal and the next turn play the Informer. But I can just get the Trinisphere off the table. That seems better. So I'll Flood Maw, bounce the Trinisphere on end step. And if I draw a source of mana, then I'll be able to just win. Yep. Ouch. End step, 1, 2, 3. A gift a tapped fish. Yeah, get out of your Trinisphere. Have a tapped fish, my opponent. Okay. Now, mana source. Love to see it. So I'm going to do this with Balustrade Spy because it gives me an extra body in play. It doesn't sacrifice. Could get Fairy Macabre here, but if that's the case, I still at least have a Thassa's Oracle from hand that I can cast. Like if they Macabre my Narcomoebas, I can Cabal Therapy with Balustrade Spy. I do feel like they have a Fairy Macabre. That's what this pause feels like to me. So they might be trying to figure out what to target. If they don't hit my Dread Return, then I can Cabal Therapy myself. And then take my Thoughtseize Oracle, Dread Return it. I only have one Dread Return in the deck right now, so if they take Memory's Journey and Dread Return, I actually kind of lose right now. Hopefully they don't figure out that line. But yeah, if I had an extra Dread Return in the deck right now, then they wouldn't be able to take my Memory's Journey and Dread Return. So, you know, that's them's the beats in a way, but that's also how I sideboarded. I chose to do that. Open myself up to this weakness. If there's a game 3, I might bring in the second Dread Return now that I know they're on Very Macabre and not Leyline of the Void. But I expected Leyline of the Void, so that's why I boarded as I did. Which is also why in these Stompy decks, doing things that are slightly unexpected or, you know, unpredictable, like do you play Fairy Macabre or do you play Leyline of the Void? Those things have value. Like those are important decisions to make. And does your opponent play around the right one or sideboard correctly? Because in this case, I sideboarded incorrectly. I have a weak spot right now if my opponent cuts the right things out. Opponent's thinking for a long time here on what to take. So I just kind of have the video paused. Again, taking the Dread Return and the Memory's Journey would beat me right now. If I had an extra 2 sources of mana, that wouldn't be the case, or an extra 1 source of mana so I could Dread Return in response, that wouldn't be the case, like a Spirit Guide. But all my Spirit Guides are here. I boarded 2 out, so maybe they're like, oh, playing around one. Hard to say. Yeah, they could be playing around. I have a Spirit Guide in hand because they're only seeing 2 Simian Spirit Guides. But really, I boarded 2 of them out. That would be pretty cool if like that was the thing that gets me the win. But again, my opponent is figuring out what to do. The game is not over. Okay, they figured it out. They're targeting Dread Return and Memory's Journey. And that does beat me here. I'm going to Cabal Therapy for info. Because I do want to see what my opponent has. That second Macabre? No, just Ancient Tomb Trinisphere. Okay. So I'm going to concede this game. Unfortunately, yeah, they figured out correctly what to take. So I will bring in my other Dread Return. I can maybe cut a Force of Will or 2. Or 3 for some more speed. Going in on the play, I think I like that. Also keep less Cabal Therapy, cut the Force. Yeah. Let's do that. I guess Thoughtseizes are pretty good as well because of the fairies. Okay. Going as game 1 as possible. I want these giant Thoughtseizes out of here. I hate this card preview window thing. 1 sec. Okay, that's fixed. Come on, game 3. Okay, back for game 3 on the play. What do we have here? Not a keepable hand. This looks much better. It's got an extra mana too for Memory's Journey business. So it's got 1, yeah, keep. And put away an Informer. So it's got 5 mana. So 1, 3, Spy. And we hope they don't double macabre, I suppose. The fact that I have a second Dread Return is nice right now. I have 2 Dread Returns, 3 Oracles in the graveyard, which is pretty hard to get rid of. Let's start with the Cabal Therapy. I think I'm going to name Mindbreak Trap first. All right, that was enough. They didn't have anything. Very cool. Okay, so we're 3-2 now, and I'll see you all for round 6. Okay, we're here for round 6. We've won the die roll. Very fortunate. 1 second. Okay, so unfortunately we had a little bit of technical difficulties here. My opponent's question about conceding to me or me just being tired, I'm not sure what it was, but I made a couple technical errors all in one here. The first one that I did is I accidentally kept this hand, which I should not have kept. This does not have black mana like initial black. It does not have a spy or informer. It's not a keepable hand. I should not have kept it. I misclicked. I also misclicked on my pause or unpause on the recording. So I was going to respond to my opponent like, no, sorry, I'm recording. I'm making, a video right now. And yeah, I forgot to unpause when I did that, or I just clicked and it didn't register. I don't know. I don't know what happened. But anyway, what you missed is I kept this unplayable hand. I played a Sink into Stupor and passed. My opponent leads on Fellmire and Thoughtseizes me, takes my Thoughtseize. I then kind of just pass thinking that I might be able to hold up a Sink into Stupor with another blue source or something, so I just pass the turn back. And then my opponent proceeds to go Balustrade Spy kill me. Anyway, yeah, that's what you missed. Now on to the sideboarding after game 1. So here is how I am sideboarding after game 1. I am doing kind of a cut of the Pact of Negations because they don't do me any good. And then I'm bringing in the Hydroelectric Specimen just as another land, more consistent mana, plus 3 duress on the play. On the draw, I'd be bringing in the Force of Wills. But right now we're on the play, so I was trying to just kind of discard potential interaction from my opponent and then just win really quickly. Ideally, just win really quickly. No interaction needed. So that's my plan going into game 2. Won the die roll. This hand is not a keep. This hand is a keep. This is quite good. So I can get rid of the Oracle. Then I can Thoughtseize and then play out both petals. And so we keep this. Put Oracle away. So yeah, I lead here, Fellmire, Thoughtseize opponent. See, reanimate, Spy, Dark Writ, Poxwalker. So I can't take the Spy because they could reanimate, so I'm going to take the Boggart Trawler. Play both of these. And pass. So I took the initial black source. Oh, of course, can't Thoughtseize the top of the deck. So that's how we get got. All right. GG. So opponent beats me the old-fashioned way. Good for them. See, isn't that better, winning the old-fashioned way? I hope they make top 8 since they actually beat me. Anyway, we are 3-3, which is not quite what I wanted to, but anyway, that's how the cookie crumbled. Let's see here. We have the Oops All Spells. Oops All Spells green. Oops All Spells blue. Whoa, my sideboard is way too big. Oops All Sideboard. There we go. So this is what we played. Yeah, 3-3 finish is not outstanding, but not terrible either. Anyway, this was the challenge. I hope you enjoyed it and got to see some Oops All Spells in action, winning and losing on both sides of the aisle. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye. So hey, we did it. We made 16th place. Very fortunate. That is quite a bit better than 17th place as far as the pricing goes. It's 10 more treasure chests, 150 more play points, and of course 10 QPs for the Magic Online Championship Series, so we can play those showcase qualifiers. Feeling pretty good about all of that. Very fortunate to land exactly 16th place with my 53.89 win rate. Speaking of 53.89 win rate, my opponent from the last round also snuck into top 8. They did get in there with a win. They were asking me for the concession. I didn't concede because I wanted to play it out for the video. Obviously, you know, I made some mistakes and even lost the first game for the video. But what you gonna do? They beat me and they're in top 8. So good for them. Anyway, that's all. I just wanted to celebrate getting lucky and snagging 16th place with my 3-3 finish. I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.